Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at each personal month forecast for March 2023. Before we get into it, just know that these are different from the life path forecasts. So the calculations are different, and more than likely, the energy forecast is going to be different as well. So before you have a listen, make sure that you check the calculation to make sure that you're listening to the right one. This is, of course, a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading dedicated to your own personal numerology report, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below, and I would absolutely love to work with you. All right, let's take a look. Personal month 4. If March is a personal month 4 for you all, then you can kind of see things slow down a little bit, right? And so the purpose of that is sort of this energy of sort of checkpoint energy, or sort of bringing a dose of reality to the situation, right? And what I mean by that is you might be, chugging right along, full force ahead, pie in the sky kind of energy, and then you hit a 4 cycle, and really what that's saying is, okay, you have these big ideas, you have these big goals, but what are the limitations? What is the reality of the situation? And the reason for that is not to say like you can't do it, is to say, let's take a closer look at the actual finer details so that we can tackle them and that we can, lay a solid foundation instead of just keep going and bypassing, the issues or the potential issues that may surface down the road. Let's tackle them now, right? Let's take care of them now. Let's make sure that the foundation that we're building has integrity and that it's going to stand the test of time, right? And so a lot of times when we hit a 4 cycle, it can sort of slow our roll a little bit. And again, it can sort of force us to look at the finer details, sort of really focus our energy, make sure that the steps that we're taking, again, have integrity, that they still feel right? We might be just moving so fast that we're moving towards something that really isn't in alignment anymore, or needs to be adjusted in some way, right? And so the 4 energy, again, it's sort of like, especially in such a short cycle as a month, is sort of like checkpoint energy. It's just asking you, and it's going to bring things to light to focus on where maybe there is an integrity, or maybe there are some cracks in the foundation that just need your attention, right? That just needs some shifting. So with it being 4 energy, this can be around the actual physical body. This can be around relationships because, it's around the heart chakra, right? The 4th chakra is the heart chakra. It can be around how you follow your own intuition, how you deal with your own emotions, right? Like, are you avoiding your emotions around a situation, to not have to deal with them so that you can achieve or accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to achieve or accomplish? And the message of the 4 would be, yeah, you'll get to the end goal, but you will eventually have to deal with the emotions, right? So whatever it is that you're suppressing. So it can be a very emotional time, right? Or a time that, just brings things to the surface that maybe you've been sweeping under the rug because you haven't wanted to deal with them because maybe they're too difficult, or again, they just are very triggering or whatever. So it's very possible that those can kind of come to the surface during this time. And again, the purpose is to move through them, to work through them, to acknowledge them and transmute that energy and to channel it into something much lighter, right? That's going to work for you as opposed to suppressing them. You can also see things in the 4 cycles show up around the actual physical structure. So like your home, right? Like your dwelling. So this can be things that might need repairs, things that maybe you didn't notice before that you'll notice now type thing. Maybe all of a sudden the roof starts leaking. And so that allows you to uncover a bigger problem that if you take care of it now, won't escalate into something even bigger, right? And so again, just think of 4 energy or a 4 cycle as an opportunity to pause, kind of slow things down a little bit, really take into account the finer details, right? Like what's the inner workings, what's happening, what are we overlooking, what are we missing? 4 energy is going to bring that into play so that we can deal with it and we can move through it, right? Okay, and so that you're not building on a faulty foundation. It's also going to ask you, is this what you still want? A lot of times 4 energy can sort of bring obstacles or challenges. And the point of that, again, is to, again, a checkpoint to say, okay, do you still want this? Is this still worth your time and investment and your energy? If you're only doing it out of obligation and it's not something you actually want, then the challenge will be your opportunity or your excuse, right? To bail, to get out of there, right? But if it's something you still really want, then you're going to find a way over that challenge. You're going to find a way over that obstacle. And so again, 4 energy can just bring the test. It can just say, checking in, is this still what you want? Do you still want to keep going down this road? If so, great, let's do it. If not, let's have a redirect, right? Let's reroute. So in all, 4 energy is working with us, but sometimes it can be a little frustrating because it does slow things down sometimes. Okay, so we're also working collectively with the energy of the 1. And so for you all, this could be a little bit of push-pull energy because the 1 is like ambition and like taking an initiative and wanting to go. It's sort of similar to like Mars energy. So it's like very like ready to take action, right? And it can want to see those instant gratifications, those instant results. 4 energy, it's very rarely that we see instant gratification in a 4 cycle. And so it really does slow things down a little bit. And so you may sort of feel like this energy of wanting to go, but then also this energy of needing to slow down. So you just need to find your healthy balance there. This can also, the 1 energy that we're in collectively can also, coupled with the 4 energy that you all are moving through, can kind of bring the focus to self. And so if there's anywhere that you are self-sacrificing or, not really standing in your truth or your own authenticity, then the 1 energy coupled with the 4 is really going to sort of force you to take a closer look at that and see like, where is it that you are minimizing yourself to make others comfortable or not following your own dreams because of other people's dreams or whatever. It can bring that to light. And again, that can bring up the emotional side of things as well, including grief about like time lost pursuing what it is that you want to pursue and all those things. So just be open to what this energy presents to you or what it sort of triggers within you, because it's up to you what you do with it to be able to mitigate it, right? To be able to work with it and move through some of those fault lines to, mend anything that needs mending or build something stronger. On the 7th of March, we have a full moon. And for you all, this is bringing forth the energy of the 3. So this is very creative energy. This is very social energy. This is an opportunity to collaborate as well. So you may see that, again, 4 energy shows you where the fault lines are. 3 energy is going to say, okay, these are your limitations. Let's call in the troops. Let's call in the people who can assist. Let's call in the allies. And the 3 energy is going to help you to do that, right? It's a very networking, very collaborative, very like social energy. So it's very possible that you may see people show up for you at this time who can assist. You just have to be willing to say yes to it. It can also, like I said, bring in new creative ideas around this full moon, or creative ideas coming to some kind of completion. And so the 4 coupled with the 3 is you're kind of putting the final touches on whatever it is, and you're really kind of you're looking at it very closely to make sure that before you present it or before you put it out into the world, it meets your expectations, right? Or close to. That's very possible as well. It's also possible because 4 is very much a ambitious, sort of like dedicated energy. And so it could be that some new creative ideas come in for you around this full moon that maybe you've been putting to the side or haven't been sort of going after because maybe you feel like it's too selfish or whatever, right? Remember, we have the 1 energy that we're working with also that's asking you to focus on self. So it could be that some very creative ideas, like following your passions, kind of comes in for you around this time to look at around the full moon. And the 4 energy is there to say, okay, yeah, we can do it. Here's the limitations and what we need to do to make sure that we complete it in a very like fruitful way, right? So all these energies are really working with you. So I would say around the full moon, if you do see things come in for you, like opportunities for big collaborations, or it doesn't even have to be big, just like opportunities for collaborations or meeting people who have new ideas that you can kind of help them to build or whatever. The world is your oyster really when it comes to these energies, but opportunity for very can be a social time, can be a very a time where the lines of communication get opened around this time as well. So if things have felt sort of blocked when it comes to communicating with others or miscommunications, around this full moon, you can kind of see things open up, right? And like the lines open up and the communication open up. And so closure can be had with this energy because, again, it opens those lines of communication. Now, around the 21st to 22nd of March, depending on where you live within the world, we have the energy, or you all have the energy of the 8 and 9 that you're working with. And so for you all, this is very much like with the 8 energy, this is very much potentially like career focused or status or power, like in an imbalance of power and having to step into your power and balancing that power, right? If somebody has power over you, like taking back your power, any of those things can kind of show up. Anything around resources, finances, money exchanges, that sort of thing, can all show up around this time, around this new moon. And because it's a new moon, again, it's like setting intentions, new initiations of things, any of that. Taking risks, starting something new. And so that coupled with the 4 is going to say, I would say anything that you sort of start around this new moon, because you're working with the 8, the 1, and the 4. I would say this is going to be something that is going to take time to come to completion. This is going to take time. This is going to take a lot of energy, potentially, a lot of dedication. Like strength to like move through whatever this is. This is something that you would be building over a long period of time, especially because it's the new moon and you've got the 8 energy, the 1 energy, and the 4 energy. So very much something where you're taking the initiative, you're sort of the leader in whatever this is, you're building something that's meant to sort of last, right? And so it's going to take time, but also this is an energy of like you asking for what you need to be able to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, right? So this is a great time to do that. This is a very supportive time with all of that very like strong, practical, dedicated energy. This is a great time to do that. And also taking risks and that sort of thing. 4 energy is not necessarily so much about taking risks, but you all have that 1 and 8 energy so strong that this is a great time to take a risk around that new moon. Understanding that whatever it is that you initiate around this time, whether it's a business or a career move or a relationship, right? It's going to take time and it's not necessarily going to be easy, but the rewards will be in direct proportion to the effort put forth. So keep that in mind. It'll be worth it, basically. There's also this energy of the 9 around the new moon that you all are working with. And so for that just to me just brings in some kind of spiritual component to whatever this is. So again, some kind of inspiration, some kind of this sort of like feeling or desire that is sort of bigger than you, right? To achieve something or to do something or to contribute in a way that is bigger than self and that will have potentially a greater impact, right? So 9 energy is the humanitarian energy. So it's kind of like whatever you initiate around this time is going to ask you to take others into consideration as well, not just self, right? To find the healthy balance there so that you're satisfying your own needs, but you're also satisfying the needs of others. That can come into play as well. So with the 8 and the 9 coupled together here, I would say there could be something around some kind of movement that you're a part of that brings justice to a situation, right? And you're sharing your expertise to help to do that type thing. Or you're starting some kind of a new collaborative venture that the goal is to help empower others or bring justice or power to others or whatever the case may be. But you have sort of this very strong physical powerhouse energy of the 8 coupled with the 9, coupled with the 4, coupled with the 1. So there's a lot of big new starts and potentially very successful outcomes but not only serving yourself, serving others as well. So beautiful energy here for personal month 4s. I hope it's a great month for you. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.